In this demonstration, we're going to take a look at friend classes in C++. A friend class is allowed to access all the members of another class, even the private members. You don't use friend classes that much in C++, but it is useful in situations where you have two classes which are very closely related. And the example we're going to use is the handle body idiom, where the body class declares the handle class as a friend. So first of all, I'll show you what the classes look like, and then we'll discuss the why behind the example. So I have two classes. We have the body class, first of all. This class represents some internal detail that you would like to shield away from the client programmer. You don't want the client programmer to know much at all about the body class. And the reason for that is that you want to be able to change its implementation without necessarily affecting the client's code. So what we do in the body class, this is a very simple implementation of the handle body pattern, but in our body class, we declare another class, handle, as our friend. It's the handle class which the client code will deal with. They won't know anything about the body class. If you like, the handle class is the bit above the water, and the body class is the bit below the water that the client code won't see. When you declare a friend class, at this point the compiler doesn't really need to know much about the handle class, but it does need to know that it is a class. And that's what this statement here does. This is called a forward reference. It introduces the name of the handle class to the compiler, so it knows that the word handle means class, is a class name, and that's enough for you to declare a friend class. Okay? The compiler will say, oh, okay, this body class, it has some other class called handle, which is a friend. I can live with that. And then the rest of the body class is whatever you want it to be. So that would be private data, functions, whatever. So that's the body class definition. If I show you the body implementation, okay, so we'd have methods in there. That would just be a regular body class. Now let me show you the handle class. Handle is effectively a wrapper over body. So this is the typical implementation. The handle class has a pointer to a body. So at runtime, when a handle object is created, it will create a body object behind the scenes. So the handle points to the body. And the handle class will define methods that encapsulate all operations on the body. So here, the handle class has some public method. This will be visible in the client code. When the client code calls this method, that method will do some work in the background on the underlying body. And of course, the client code doesn't see the body class at all. All the client class sees is the handle, the constructor and the destructor, and this method. Underneath the surface, the handle is actually just a wrapper for some underlying body implementation. So this is an example of delegation in C++. The body class does some stuff in the background, and the handle class is the delegating wrapper. It's the handle class that the clients see. They don't even know about the body class's existence. And that's good, because it means that you can change how the body class is implemented later, and the rest of the world will be oblivious, because they didn't even know it existed in the first place. And this decoupling is very important when you have large systems. The ability to change how you might have implemented the body class internally without changing the rest of the code at all. You don't break anything when you re-implement how that body class is implemented. Let me show you the handle implementation. So when the client creates a new handle, the handle internally creates a new body. So the handle object contains a body, and it owns it, which means that when the handle object is destroyed, it will also destroy its associated body. So what we can say from an object-oriented point of view is that the handle object has custody over the body. The handle creates the body initially, and the handle destroys the body at the end. It completely owns the lifetime of the body. And here's the implementation of the wrapper method. This is the method that the client code will call, some operation. Underneath the surface, the handle just does some other work on the body, but of course that's away from the client's view. All the client sees is the name of this method. So in the client code in main, we create a handle object, and we invoke a method on the handle object. No mention of body at all. I can change the body class in any way I want. The client code isn't going to be affected in any way whatsoever. So that's an example of friend classes. The fact that the body class had private state, which it wanted the other class to be able to manipulate. So the handle implementation accesses some data, which is actually private, notice, and it can do that because handle is a friend of body. So the handle class is allowed to access private data in the body because handle is a friend.